Hi, it's Andy, and today I'm bringing you my February TBR. In the month of February, I'm taking part in 2 readathons. The first is series TBR-a-thon, and the second is the Hunger Games readathon. I decided a little while ago that for February I just wanted to beast through a lot of the romance novels that were on my TBR, and so I've kind of pushed my I've pulled all the books I wanted to read and then sort of wedged them into prompts. There's a lot of books here. So I don't anticipate getting to all of them, but this is the selection that I want to read from. Prompt wise, I have matched a book to a prompt for series TBR-a-thon. I will link the details for series TBR-a-thon down below. But there are 25 prompts for series TBR-a-thon, and you can do up to 3 prompts per book. I have not done that. I tried to do a book for every prompt, which is why I'm saying there's a lot of books in this TBR. I have matched up I think 2 of them, and the others I just sort of slotted into the ones that fit best, and will deal with any doubling up or anything once the month gets underway. But these are the books that I want to read from in the month of February. Hunger Games wise, I haven't actually looked at the prompts properly. I've got a spreadsheet that's got all of the prompts on it, but I've not matched anything yet because it's a points-based system and you can reuse prompts. So I'll do that as I go. Again, with the Hunger Games readathon, I will link everything down below, and I'm just going to get into this because this is going to take me a little while. So the first book on my TBR is Iris Kelly Doesn't Date by Ashley Henning Blake. This is the 3rd book in the series that this is called, that I don't remember what the series is called. But I think it's the Bright Falls series? It might be the Bright Falls series. But this is the 3rd book, and the first one is Delilah Green Doesn't Care. The second one is Ashley Parker Doesn't Fail. And this is the 3rd one, Iris Kelly Doesn't Date. For the series TBR-a-thon, I've got this for the Finish a Completed Series prompt, because as far as I'm aware, this is going to be the last in the series, because there's only the 3 friends, Claire, Iris and Astrid, and Claire's in the first one with Delilah. So there's only the 3 of them, so I assume there's only going to be 3. At least this is the last one published, so it is completed in the sense that these are all that are published. This book is by Iris, who is part of this friendship group, and everybody else is coupling up and she's having absolutely no luck with men or women. And then in this book she meets Stevie, and Stevie asks her to pretend to be a girlfriend, and so I'm guessing this is going to be like a fake dating come real dating type scenario, and I love that. Next is Charlie, Love and Clichés by Ella Mays. This was for the poll pick prompt for series TBR-a-thon, and this is really, again, it's a romance. This is about Charlie, who has had very little luck in romance, and yeah, this is a romance novel. I don't really know much else about it. It said somewhere that it was for, yeah, perfect for fans of Elena Armas and Ali Hazelwood, and I was like, I like Elena Armas and Ali Hazelwood, so I bought it. Next up is Boyfriend Material. Again, this is a fake dating romance, and I'm using this for starting a series prompt for series TBR. This obviously is the first one, the second one is Husband Material, and I don't know if there's a 3rd or more. I don't know. I've just been getting bugged by Tori to read this, and so now I'm going to read it. I loved Red, White and Royal Blue. Obviously, I don't know if you've heard me talk about Red, White and Royal Blue a lot, but I love Red, White and Royal Blue. So this is another male-male romance in the same kind of, not in the same kind of vein, but like 2 different types of people. One is a rock star, one is rock star parents, and one is a lawyer? Barrister, lawyer, yeah. I don't know, it's giving me Red, White and Royal Blue vibes, obviously, and I'm really excited to read this. Next is Love on the Island by Jessica Gilmore, and I've chosen this for the prompt to read a book that you've been putting off. And yeah, I would definitely say I've been putting this off, considering I had the arc on NetGalley. And now I have the physical book. So yeah, this is another romance. I really, really don't know what these are about. I think this is another fake dating. See if I've got fake dating, false proximity. That's just my bread and butter. I love it. So I think this is another fake dating on holiday. I don't know. I'm excited anyway. And next is Beach Rivals by Georgie Tilney. This was on a previous TBR for the Magical Readathon, because it was a mirror on the mirror on the cover, and this is like mirrored sunglasses. So yeah, didn't read it then, hopefully we'll read it now. And that's for the prompt added to TBR in 2023, because I bought this in 2023. This again has a sticker on it. It's actually a sticker, I really need to take that off, that says for fans of Emily Henry. I mean, like, Emily Henry. Other than that, it's an enemy, like enemies to lovers, you know, like the dislike to lovers, where she ends up working in a bookshop in somewhere nice and sunny with a guy that she doesn't like, and obviously we know what's going to happen. Next up is the first one that's kind of a step away from romance, and that is Daughters of Sparta by Claire M. Andrews. This is a fantasy, historical something. It's James Patterson Presents book. It's about Greek gods, and I really am not sure what it's about, but I remember when I read the blurb when I first looked at it, I was like, oh, interesting, and Vicky was getting rid of it, so I was like, well, no harm, no foul if I don't like it. So yeah, I'm interested to read it. I'm unsure if I'll like it, but I want to try it. And for the prompt, this is a friend pick from 5. So I gave my friends 5 books to choose from, and this is the one that got chosen first by Vicky. Next is The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. And that is for the prompt, the last book that you bought, or the last book that was purchased. And this is the newest book that's come onto my TBR at the time of filming this. I do have a book incoming tomorrow, so but I will also be reading that fairly soon, I think. But this is another romance, I think. Character loses her sister 18 months previous, and she decides to have a fun summer, and they play like assassin, which is like Among Us, like traitors or whatever, you know, the new TV series. Anyway, again, I added this to my TBR a while ago, like my wish list, and Meg so kindly got me it for Christmas. And so it is the newest book that's come into my house, therefore I'm using it, and I am excited to read it. It's another one of those like matte indie sort of feeling ones. The next book is Just Like That by Nina Kay. This is for the prompt meant to read in 2023, because you will also notice this was on one of my TBRs for 2023 and I did not get to it. Again, this is another romance. It is a hate to love, and yeah, I went through a point when I went into Waterstones and just bought a whole load of romance books, and that's kind of what this is, like clearing out that, like get them all read because they're just sitting there. Next is Don't You Forget About Me by Valerie McFarlane. This is for a book added to your TBR in 2021. I really enjoyed Valerie McFarlane's other book, but was scared to read this one because the first one slightly traumatised me. The first one I read, I can't even remember which one it was, but I thought it was going to be like a friends to lovers. They had a one night stand and then realised they had feelings for each other. Like they crossed the line one night, like from friends into like having a one night stand, and they were like, crap, we have feelings for each other. But it wasn't. The thing that happened that changed their friends' lives forever was that one of them was hit by a car and died. And the thing is, I had just lost a friend when I read that. Like, I had literally just lost a friend it was to cancer, not to a car. But like reading this book that was basically the fallout of our friendship, like the fallout of what happens when you lose somebody unexpectedly. And it's just like, it was like whiplash. It was horrible. And so I've been scared to read this, but I think I'm in a place now where I think I'm okay. I don't think this one is going to have the same thing. This one seems more like an actual romance. It says wildly funny and wildly romantic, and I loved it. So funny and warm. Sparkly smart, sore stomach laughing kind of read. Effortlessly brilliant, totally hilarious and wincingly real. So I really, really hope that means that there's not going to be any added trauma to this book. The next book is for if you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. It is Fling by J.F. Murray. This book is the 2020s version of the Pina Colada song. Basically. as far as I understand it. So in the song, this is where I need to explain it. So in the song, in the Pina Colada song, in Escape, I think it's called, this man and this woman, they were getting, so he was saying he was getting bored of his wife. Like the relationship had become stale, basically. And so he looked in the personals column in the newspaper, which is like a thing where you could be like, I want to find somebody to date, like sort of thing. And so he read one that said, like, the whole, if you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain, if you're not in a yoga, if you have half a brain, if you like making love at midnight in the dunes of the Cape, I'm the one that you look for, come to me and escape. And so he writes back to this person, this woman, and they start corresponding and they decide to meet. And when they meet, he walks in and it's his wife. Like, they've been falling back in love with each other through these letters, through this ad, basically. And so they realise that actually they just needed to talk to each other and rekindle their relationship that way. There's also like the whole sideline of like both of them are cheating, so none of them have got a leg to stand on. But that's beyond the point. This is very similar. So you've got your two main characters who have become bored in their relationship, and so both of them go onto this app called Fling. Neither of them knows the other one's doing it, and they end up talking to each other, not knowing who the other one is, and they fall for these people. And obviously, when they finally meet face to face, they're going to realise who it is they're talking to. So for me, it's very much the same plot as the Pina Colada song, just with technology rather than newspapers, if that makes sense. So yeah, when I read that this was, like, when I read the back of this and I was like, this is the Pina Colada song, I had to buy it because I was like, I want to see how this goes. So yeah, this, I don't think I said, is for the series or book you can't stop thinking about prompt. And of course, like, everybody knows the Pina Colada song and everybody knows that it is an earworm, and I'm very sorry to anybody whose brain I've now got this absolutely stuck in, because yeah, I used to do that to my friend a lot. I'd be like, if you like Pina Coladas, and he's like, fuck, because that was the song stuck in his head for the rest of the day. So yeah, can't stop thinking about it. The next book is The Plus One by Maisie Eddings, and this is for the prompt, a book from a series you own in full. Now this is actually part of a series. It is the Brush with Love. So A Brush with Love is our first book, and this is I think this is book 2 and the other one's book 3, otherwise it's the other way around, but I've got book 2 on the TBR, like I've got both of them, books 2 and 3, I just can't remember which way around it goes. And I don't think it really matters, they're like companion series rather than like, you know. But anyway, this is, again, I really liked Maisie Eddings' first book. It was blurbed by Ellie Hazelwood and Helen Huang and Rosie Darin, and I love all of those authors, so I was getting, like, I obviously had to have a book, and this is one that was gifted to me by, it was either Smash or, oh no, my little thing's gone. Where's my little thing? My little thing's gone. I'll need to find it. This one was gifted to me by either Smash or Becca, and the other one, the other book in this series was gifted by the other person. It was not planned, but it was beautiful. Like, I was like, you two are stupidly made for each other, that you managed to get me books 2 and 3 in a series without talking to each other. Like, who does that? Like, stop being cute. It's gross. I'm just kidding. I love you too. Anyway, yeah, so this is book from series you own in full. I do own this in full now, and I'm excited to read it. I think this is a fake dating, like they go to a wedding together. I don't know. That's what I'm getting from the cover. And then of course the next one is then Lizzie Blake's Best Mistake by Maisie Eddings. This is again blurbed by several authors that I love. This one was given to me by Becca. I've actually got the little card in here. I don't know where my little card's gone. Little slips. I'll have put it somewhere safe. And you know what happens when you put stuff somewhere safe. Anyway, this is the, like, again, second or third book in this series. And I believe this is the one where Maisie Eddings has written in, I think the female main character is disabled. I think she has EDS because, she also has uncontrolled ADHD. I don't remember. I just know because I know I'm sure Maisie Eddings has EDS. The same kind of EDS that I do, and so she's written one of her characters to have EDS as well, and I believe it is Lizzie Blake that she's written to have EDS. Anyway, disabled main character, regardless, And again, really not sure what it's about. I love Maisie Eddings. I follow her on all of her socials, and she is just an absolute ray of sunshine. I love to brush with love, and I'm excited to read this. And for Series TBR-a-thon, this is basically my free space book. The next is The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren, and this is for the series book from a favourite author, or a book from a favourite author. It doesn't need to be series, it's like either series or from your TBR. So this is for a book by a favourite author. Christina Lauren is a favourite author for me. I've loved everything they've written so far, and yeah, I'm only mad that this does not match my other Christina Lauren books. Like, I can see them behind me. So like, there's The Honeymooners. It's not the worst. Like, it's not the worst change, but like, you know, but all of the new books now match this style, so those ones are odd. But, you know, we live and we continue. Again, I don't think I know exactly what this is all about. I think I just added this to my wish list because it was Christina Lauren. And I think every book I've read from them has been like a 4 or 5 star, so, you know, why not? I don't really know what this book is about. It is a romance. I want to say it's going to be something along the lines of like to try and fall in love. Like, she doesn't think she doesn't think she's been in love, so like maybe she does like a thing where she has to, like, the experiment to see if they can get her to fall in love, you know, kind of like, I don't know, we'll find out. The next book is the first one I have doubled up on, and that is The Gates of Gunye. Again, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that yet properly. This is for the prompt read a friend favourite and also a gifted book. So this was gifted to me, I think. This is gifted by, oh, I've lost my slip again. Oh no. I'm really annoyed now. That's that one. So this was gifted to me by Katie. And I'm really mad. Where have I put the slip? I hate when I do this. I thought I'd put it in the book, but I'm obviously not. Oh, please tell me I've not put it. I've put it in the same safe place. I've got one here that sits here. This is the one for the book that I'm currently reading, which is book 3 of this, which was gifted by Jem. And this is book 4 that was gifted by Katie. And this is the series is a Jem favourite, so a friend favourite there. And it was gifted because it was gifted by Katie. That's the tangent that I was trying to wrap up. And this is the 4th in the Casket Girls series. There is supposed to be a 5th, which is the Immortal Saint Germain, but there's no sign of that on the horizon. It was supposed to be released apparently in 2022. It is now 2024. We don't have the book. So this is book 4. This will get me up to date with the series, and I can get it on my shelf. And look at the size of it. Like, this is 500 and odd pages long. The one I'm currently reading is 639 pages long. This one's actually a lot shorter. But yeah, I'm really enjoying these. I love the way that New Orleans is described. It's post New Orleans storm. It's not named as Katrina, but it's like Katrina-esque. Like, totally devastated the area. Floodwater coming up, like people drowned in attics level, water coming up, mass destruction. And this is like the first book is the main character and her dad returning to New Orleans, and she's discovering that, you know, she has witch heritage and that she has magic powers, and these other people that have magic powers and they're vampires because it's New Orleans. And it follows the story of the Casket Girls, which is a real thing, and then adds like on top of that, which is very similar to what they did for, they talked about the Casket Girls in I don't know if it was the Vampire Diaries or the originals, probably the originals because that was set in New Orleans. And the Casket Girls is a very, very famous, what's the word, mythos, story, legend in New Orleans, and how New Orleans became so vampiric in nature. You know what I mean? I say I'm talking about storms and there's a storm going on outside. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's quite loud to me, so sorry if you can hear that. But if you want to see this, you're gonna have to deal with me filming. Next is Love Me Do by Lindsay Kelk. One thing I've noticed is a lot of these romance books have lyric names. I should just pull out all the books at some point that have lyric names. That would be quite funny. And this is pulled for the prompt favourite genre. So romance is quickly becoming one of my favourite genres. I have 4 shelves completely full of romance, plus all of these, plus the ones that are still in my TBR cart. So romance is quickly becoming one of my favourite genres. I love a story that has romance in it. I love romance stories. I just really, really love romance. So yeah, I don't know why I'm like defending myself to you about liking romance. It is one of my favourite genres. Therefore, favourite genre, romance. Again, romance, not entirely sure what it's about, I'll be honest with you. I bought it for the fact that it's got lyrics as the title, and also I've heard of Lindsay Kelk. And so I was like, oh yeah, like I'll pick up that again. I got this when I got like a whole bunch of romance and Watchstones. It is blurbed by Emily Henry. It says, I'll read anything she writes, which is how I feel about Emily Henry. So, you know, how can you go wrong? It's also blurbed by Beth O'Leary. If it's blurbed by multiple authors that I like, I'm more likely to pick it up, as we are finding out. But yeah, very excited. Not a clue at all. Not a clue what this is about, but I'm excited. Take a shot every time I say I'm excited. Just kidding, don't. You'll die. The next is All the Right Reasons by Bethany Mangle. This is one, again, that I've been meaning to get to for ages. Bethany Mangle has EDS, and one of the characters in this also has EDS, and I'm really enjoying being able to read other experiences of EDS that these authors want to put in their books. Like, finally, like, EDS is getting recognition. Like, we know about other disabilities. Like, EDS is getting its time in novels, and I'm getting to read about it. It's nice. Like, you know, it's nice to have that representation. And that goes across the board for representation in general. Like, give it to us. Give it to us. It gives us a sense of glee. Anyway, this book is for the prompt added to your TBR in 2022. And I'm actually, you cannot see, I'll grab another book. So this has actually got like grey sprayed edges. They're very, very faintly grey edges. But I just like when you see it next to another book, it's quite obvious, which I really, really like. I am so excited to read this. Again, I'll be honest, I bought this because Bethany Mangle has EDS and one of the characters has EDS. That's about it. You know, supporting creators with EDS is why I bought this. Plus, again, I follow Bethany Mangle on her socials and she's just a lovely human. And I'm excited to read this. It looks like, I'm just now looking at the cover properly and there's all these cameras, so I feel like this is going to be like a reality TV show or something. Oh yeah, it's a Bachelor. The Bachelor, like, esque. Like, you know, The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, like that sort of thing. It's one of them. Anyway, I am excited and I can't wait to get to this. The next is The Love Match by Priyanka Taslim, and this is for the prompt an author that is new to you. So yep, this is the first time I've picked up one of their books and the first time I've heard of them. This is a book, I think it's a young adult actually, but it's about an Asian family who are, yeah, so I'm gonna read this. It says, Zara Khan is basically Bangladeshi royalty, but being a princess doesn't pay the bills in New Jersey. Pressured by her mother to marry into money, Zara pretends to date the wealthy but aloof Harun. Meanwhile, her feelings for the dishwasher Naeem, who supports her dreams more than anyone else, grow stronger by the day. For once, Zara can have her rosso malai and eat it too. But life and boys can be a royal pain. Torn between her head and her heart, can Zara find the perfect love match while keeping everyone happy? So yeah, it's to do with kind of, not necessarily arranged marriage, but it's like, it's not arranged in the sense of like, we will find, like, you will marry this person that we find for you. Kind of like it's, here's this criteria, find someone within that criteria, as I understand it. But she's sort of fallen for someone who's out with that criteria. If that makes sense. Anyway, I'm excited. It's something that I have no experience in, and therefore I'm looking forward to read from the point of view of an author who does have experience with it to get a better idea, you know? There is not enough room in the container that I'm putting my TBR in for my TBR right now. The next one is one I am seriously excited to read, and that is A Demon's Guide to Wooing a Witch by Sarah Hawley. This is the sequel to A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. And I loved A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon, so I'm so excited about this. I don't even know what it's about, but I'm excited. But yeah, I think it's meant to be like the friend, one of the friends from the first one, and the demon at the end of the first one. If you've read it, you might know what I mean. Yeah, it's a sequel. I'm excited. it looks like it's going to be interesting, and the last one was just such a good time that I can pretty much guarantee that this one's also going to be a good time. And the prompt that this fits for series TBR-a-thon is catch up on an ongoing series. The next book I'm going to read is one of my ebooks, because I have a lot of ebooks kicking about on my Kindle app that I've not read, and that is The Housekeeper by Talbot Finch. This is for the prompt random number generator. So what I did is I have, I think, 63 on my Kindle app that I've bought. This is not the ones that are on my KU. 63 that I've bought and not read, and so I got my little dot thing, I'm not going to say her name because it'll set mine off and yours off, and asked her to give me a number between 1 and 63, and she picked whatever number that was, and it was The Housekeeper. This is a novella, and it is 1800s, different class, same-sex love story. So this man has been injured when he was younger and has lost his arm, and so he is finding it difficult to look after his estate, and so he reluctantly hires a housekeeper, and then the housekeeper, who is a man, they fall in love, is what I'm assuming is going to happen. Because it is a romance, and it is a queer romance, and it is a queer romance with a disabled main character, and I am all here for that. Intersectionality, that's what we need. But it's also the added element of, like, he's the guy that owns the estate, and like he's the housekeeper. There's that class divide as well. So I'm hoping it does well. It's just a novella. It's like a 45-page novella. So, you know, I don't have the highest of hopes, but I think it's going to be like a nice, cute little story. And I read the first paragraph and I really, really liked it. So, like, because the first paragraph I was telling Tori as I read it is the guy, so it's his left arm that he has amputated, and so he's like lying and he's got an itchy nose, so he reaches with his left hand to scratch his nose, and then he's like, why is it not scratching? And he's like, oh yeah, I don't have it. But it was like the way he just like talks about it is the fact that he can still feel the arm, he can still feel the hand there even though it's not there, which is quite common in people who've had limb amputations, that they get phantom limb pain, or that they still get phantom limb sensation, because the nerves don't quite understand that the limb is gone. So yeah, I'm interested. Again, 45-page novella. I don't think it's going to be like a new, like, world-changing work of literature, but I'm very, very, sorry, I'm going to say it again, very excited to read it. The next is a book that everybody and their mother has read except me, and that is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. This even has a movie and everything. This is for the prompt added to your TBR pre-2021. This is one of the books I got when I first met Tori in, I don't even know when, and we were in Aberdeen, and I bought this from the works. And I've still, again, it's like the most well-known hate to love, and it's apparently very similar to The Spanish Love Deception, and I'm kind of scared to read it. I don't anticipate liking this, which is a really weird thing to say, but now that I know myself better, I'm worried about it. But every time, if you've been here a while, you may realise, every single time I've been like, I'm not sure I'm going to like that, I've loved it. So I'm hoping this one also does that. But also, if I don't like it, that's fine. I'll give it a chance, get it off my TBR either way. And this sort of like pushes it to the forefront to get it read instead of just sitting on my TBR cart forever. The next book is End of Story by Kylie Scott. This is, again, I know nothing about this. I bought a whole bunch of romances. I've said this so many times, and this was in that. It is a romance. It is supposed to be like fun, and I don't know. I think this is a friends to lovers, second chance romance type of thing. Oh, I'm sorry. I've just caught the back of this. Let me read the back of this. When Susie inherits her beloved aunt's house, the last person she expects to help renovate is her ex's best friend Lars. Or ex's best friend, or ex-best friend. I misread that. He was a witness to their humiliating public breakup 6 months ago, so she isn't exactly eager to have him around, especially when his alliance is with the enemy. But the sooner the repairs are done, the sooner she can get back to embracing singledom, and she can't afford to be picky. This is what caught me. When Lars discovers a divorce certificate hidden in the wall and dated 10 years in the future with both of their names on it, things go from awkward to just plain unbelievable. The certificate couldn't possibly be real, could it? As Susie and Lars work to unravel the document's origins, the possibility of a spark between them suddenly doesn't seem so far-fetched. But with a supposed glimpse into their future, Would a relationship between them be doomed before it's even begun? That's probably why I picked it up. Because that's really interesting. Like, that's really, if this is done well, okay. Now I'm even more excited. Again, sorry, I said it again. And the last book that I'm doubling up on, I said I was only doubling up on 2, so this is, you know, the last one. Also the second one is Twice Bitten by Lindsay Sands. This is the next in my afternoon series as I'm rereading them. We're really getting up there. I've only got like maybe 10 left. So yeah, we're really getting through these. And this is for the prompts to reread a book to continue a series, which is what I'm doing with these books, and also to continue a series. Again, what I'm doing with these books. And this follows Elspeth, who we have met previously, and Wyatt, who is the landlady's son. But he's like an adult. Like all of these are adult, and they're all like usually in their like late 20s, at the youngest, into their 30s, 40s, up to 70s, I think. And yeah, so this is their love story. I think I remember this one, like they trick her into, or Marguerite tricks her into hiring him as her housekeeper or something, just to like give them time to get to know each other, or tricks her into hiring him as her housekeeper. But what Elspeth doesn't know is that he is actually secretly there to be her bodyguard because somebody's trying to kill her. I think that might be this one, and if it is, I'm really excited to reread it. Yeah, I love these books so much, so I'm really happy to be reading these. And for the mathematically minded of you in the viewing platform audience, you will have noted that that is 24 prompts, not 25 prompts, which means I still have one book to go. And I don't have any books in front of me. Well, I do, but none of the books that I've not already talked about, which means it is time for the jar. If you don't know what the jar is for my 12 friends, 12 books, 12 prompts. And so I have 12 friends who have given me books that they would like me to read, and also a prompt that they would like me to fulfill. And so every month I will be picking a book or a name out of this, and whoever's name is pulled out, I will read their book, and I will put a book to their prompt. So I might have to add 2 books if none of these books will fulfill that prompt. I did not think that through. But I have to pull a name, so let's do it together. So as you can see, I've got all the names in here. They're on like folded bits of paper. And last month was Pia, and I read Red Rising and Scythe for hers. So let's see what we will get. Well, I'll do it right-handed. Okay, from the bottom. Here we go. And, oh, I'm scared. The biggest book on this is The Fragile Threads of Power. And that will mess up mine and Gem's and other people's TBRs for February. So, who have we got? I'm scared. Vicky. Yes. Oh, that's great news. Oh, that's fantastic news. Just a second. So, Vicky has given me the book Sleeping Giants to read. Again, I looked at this the last time. I was like, where's the author's name? It's on the side. It's Sylvian Nouvelle. And this is a sci-fi. And I have been really just dipping my toe into sci-fi. And I've been getting all my sci-fi recs from Vicky, and I've loved all of them. I mean, the Last Astronaut gave me some weird nightmares, but it was a good book. Like, I liked the book. It just was a little bit horror-sided for me. This book, I'm not sure what it's even about. Vicky just handed me it and was like, I think you'll like this book. And I was like, okay, I will read this book. And so she put it on my 12 and 12. I'm very excited to read this book. I've been actually like kind of annoyed that it's on my 12 and 12 because I've been wanting to read it. But now that I've pulled it for February, that is excellent. I'm talking so fast because I'm so excited. I'm really excited to read this. This is excellent. So this is for my jar pick, which for series TBR-a-thon is the recommended prompt. Oh, I didn't say end of story. It was for spin a wheel. So I put all my books on a spinning wheel, spun it, and end of story popped out. This is for recommended. Obviously it's recommended because Vicky was like, I recommend this to you. But also it was recommended because she was like, put this on your 12 and 12. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. I'm so excited about this. I'm sorry for anybody. Don't be drinking. This is a bad idea. As I said, it is also 12 prompts that are given to me by my friends. So the prompt that Vicky has given me is to read a book outside my comfort zone. See, now I'm not entirely sure what I want to do for this, because my comfort zone has shifted recently. Like I say, I'm just dipping my toe into sci-fi, which is I think why she's given me that prompt. Let me think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop on Daughters of Sparta by Claire M. Andrews. Again, this is one I got from Vicky. This is kind of out of my comfort zone because I'm not really a fantasy reader. Like, yes, I have fantasy and yes, I have Greek mythology, but those are all like, these are all like, what's the word? Urban fantasy. They're all really urban fantasy, and Percy Jackson's middle grade. All my other Greek retellings are retellings of stories that I already know. This is a brand new fantasy world with the gods. It's one of those books, Vicky put it on my TBR this month because I'm so unsure about reading it. Like, I feel uneasy reading this book. Like, I'm not sure I'm going to like it. I am not sure it's the right type of, like, it is basically out of my comfort zone. So I'm going to use this for that prompt. It doesn't add anything to my TBR, thankfully. And yeah, so I'll read you the blurb just to give you an idea. Sparta forged her into a deadly weapon, and now the gods need her to save the world. 17-year-old Daphne has spent her entire life honing her body and mind into that of a warrior, hoping to be accepted by the unyielding people of ancient Sparta. But an unexpected encounter with the goddess Artemis, who holds Daphne's brother's fate in her hands, upends the life she's worked so hard to build. 9 mysterious items have been stolen from Mount Olympus, and if Daphne cannot find them, the gods' waning powers will fade away. The mortal world will descend into chaos, and her brother's life will be forfeit. Guided by Artemis's twin, the handsome and entirely too self-assured god Apollo. Yeah. Daphne's journey will take her from the labyrinth of the Minotaur to the riddle spinning Sphinx of Thebes. Team her up with mythological legends such as Theseus and Hippolyta of the Amazons and pit her against the gods themselves. A reinterpretation of the classic Greek myth of Daphne and Apollo, daughter of Sparta, by debut author Claire M. Andrews, turns the traditionally male-dominated mythology we know into a heart-pounding and empowering female-led adventure. It sounds good. I am still unsure about it. I had a really bad experience with a Greek mythology retelling. I've tried to wipe it from my memory. It was, what was it? What is it? Oh my god, I can't even remember the name of it. It was the Medusa one that Natalie Haynes did. I hated that book. I read that book in the end because I hated it so much. Like, I hated that book. I don't understand some of the things that, like, maybe I missed it. Maybe I just missed it. But I hated that book so much. I don't understand how people are like, oh my god, this is amazing. Because it is not about Medusa. It is about Perseus. And I don't care about Perseus. And the book is like, oh, I bet you think Perseus is so, like, you feel so sorry for Perseus because of all this. And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't feel sorry for Perseus. Stop putting words in my mouth and stop being a bitch. Like, I did not like that book at all. If I wanted a book that was from Medusa's perspective, and about maybe a third of that book was from her perspective. So in my eyes, it was a failure of a book, and I hated it so much. I still have the copy on my Vinted though, if you want to go and have a look. I'll try and remember to tag it below because it is a beautiful Waterstones exclusive edition, and I'm not just giving that away. But I don't want to look at it, so please, if somebody wants it, I'm willing to haggle on the price. It's not even that high, but yeah. Anyway, this book is, again, a Greek retelling. I've not read another Greek retelling since, so this really is pushing me out of my comfort zone if it is actually a retelling. And it's also James Patterson Presents. I am not a James Patterson fan, so yeah. Now I'm quite nervous to read this. That is it. That is my February TBR. I'm now slightly scared. I'm more scared than I was when I first put together this TBR. I don't see, the thing is, I don't think I'm going to read all these books, but I'm going to do my best to read as much as I can. The wind is so loud. I'm going to do my best to read as much as I can, and also not pressure myself to only read these books. If there's something else that I see that I want to read, I will probably pick it up. I do also, like I say, I have a book coming tomorrow that I could also swap in for some of these. Like, it is out of my comfort zone because it is a high fantasy. So I could switch it out for that. I could switch it out for other things. But yeah, I'm going to try and read as much of these as I can and see how I get on. So check back in for the wrap up to see how I got on, and wish me luck. If you got this far in the video and want to let me know that you're here, please do leave me a wind based emoji down there, because it is hella windy, and by hella windy I mean we have an amber warning. It's like, stay at home. If you don't have to leave the house, don't leave the house. Strap down your trampolines, strap down your bins, don't let your pets out unattended. It is like getting bad out there. So wind based emoji, wish me luck for February. And let me know if you're also taking part in Sadie's TBR-a-thon and also Hunger Games readathon. I will put, again, all the details from them down below in the description. Please do go sign up. It is always so much fun, and my friend Tori runs the Sadie's TBR-a-thon. I love taking part every year, and Bobby has made some gorgeous graphics for it this year again, or this month again, because it's like runs roughly 6 monthly. But yeah, I'm going to go and hope that I don't end up in Oz with all this wind. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!